Without guilt.
Amaka, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Yesterday, I attended the Game of Money podcast, you know, by this amazing lady called CMO Speaks. Yes. You know, it was super amazing. The conversations, very intellectual, how to make money, you know, how to sustain money, how to teach your children. How it's never too early to start teaching kids how to make them save money, invest the money, you know, and multiply money. Yeah. So TMO, congratulations. Thank you. As in, I saw your hosts, amazing people. I'm sure they're going to do a fantastic job. Yeah, congratulations on that. Will. And how are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing great, and I want to celebrate with our sisters, Nima and Ramatu. Nima and Ramatu are both celebrating Eid Mubarak today, as well as all the other Muslims that we know are huge fans of our show, and we want to celebrate them. It's been 30 days of fasting, praying, and I know the last 10 days are usually intense, so that's why you didn't see Ramatu or Nima, because they tend to want to, you know, finish strong. And I'm really, really happy. I pray that all, like Mariam said earlier, all the petitions, all the prayers that they've been praying over the past 30 days will bring peace to the country, peace to their life, and prosperity to us all. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll go into the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. We're starting our front page review this morning with The Nation. Nothing new there. But the headlines are very different, as they are every day. Major headline, Nigeria, Britain seal deals on port reforms, migration, others. Tinubu seeks stronger Nigeria-UK trade and security alliance. State visit ends officially. Eid Mubarak to our esteemed readers. That's from The Nation. And then we have other news. My impression of Nigeria by King Charles. His views on monarchs, culture, and jollof rice. Says Nigeria, no they carry last. Then we have President calls for peace as Muslims mark Eid al-Fitr. Then appeal court orders fresh hearing of El Rufai's case. IMF global inflation will surge upon prolonged oil price hike. And then NAMA deploys mobile control tower in Lagos Airport. NCAA clears Binan Air to begin scheduled flights. Then, yes. So we have the picture, obviously, of King Charles and our president, Tinubu, and then the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, and Queen Camilla. They have been trending. Okay, so what story do we start with?
Okay, so the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NEMA, has successfully deployed a mobile control tower at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. The deployment, according to the Airspace Agency, is part of the swift and strategic response to the recent fire incident that affected critical air-ground communication infrastructure at the old terminal. We all know what happened, you know. Speaking during the on-site inspection of the facility, the Director of Safety Electronics and Engineering Services, Mrs. Ihanacho, noted that the deployment marked a significant operational milestone, highlighting that NAMA's resilience and unwavering commitment to ensuring the continuity of safe and efficient air navigation services in Nigeria's busiest aviation hub. You know, it's continued. She also commended the dedication and technical expertise of NAMA personnel whose efforts ensure the timely delivery and operational readiness of the tower. As you can, she says, and I quote, "As you can see, the mobile tower is fully operational and serviceable. All necessary test runs have been successfully completed, and air traffic controllers are ready to commence operations at any moment." But she was also specific to say that, you know, that the mobile tower is being used specifically for Nigerian use, not in the way it was actually designed, because it is seamless, and that they have seamlessly connected it to the Centress and Tracon, which was not in existence before. So it's part of their innovation now to use the product, you know, to make it align with what we need on ground in terms of our Nigerian airspace, as opposed to how it was originally designed or manufactured for.
Okay, I have a major headline. Nigeria and the United Kingdom have consolidated a series of landmark agreements and understandings covering migration, border security, trade, infrastructure, and business mobility in a renewed push to deepen bilateral relations and economic cooperation. They said central to the engagements were 3 memoranda of understanding and statements of intent on migration, partnership, cooperation on organized immigration, crime, and border security. In addition, both countries sealed a £746 million infrastructure agreement for the modernization of Apapa and Tinkan Island ports in Lagos, alongside broader commitments to expand trade, investment, and economic collaboration. So, of course, there was a signing of that £746 million agreement at Lancaster House for refurbishment of Apapa and Tinkan Island ports in Lagos, amongst so many others. We've been seeing lots of pictures from there. It's good to see. This is the business side of what's been happening. We've been seeing lots of the fashion side, the picture-taking side. But
take that from the king, Ghana. Okay, we move on to the next paper. Let's go on a break, then we come back and continue with the newspaper. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
E-Splash give you the best of entertainment, the best of energy, best of everything you need to get your day going.
It's E-Splash every weekday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on TVC Entertainment.
Keeping hope alive.
We are the drumbeats that refuse to be silent, even when the rhythm falters.
We are the green that refuses to fade.
And the white that dares to shine.
Hope is not a stranger here.
It lives in our markets,
our music, and our streets.
Every dawn in Nigeria is proof that tomorrow is still worth fighting for.
Hope is a child in the classroom, eyes wide, with dreams bigger than walls.
Hope is the farmer planting seeds in faith, believing in rain and harvest.
Hope is the youth unafraid to rise, rewriting the story of our tomorrow.
Hope is us, millions of voices refusing to give up on the promise of this land.
Nigeria, our independence is not just history.
It is a call to keep believing,
to keep building, to keep hoping.
Now hope
they carry us.
Even when wahala they choke, we stand gidigba.
Hope they waka with us for downfall.
They gist with us for buka.
No matter the gbege, our spirit in no fit scatter. Hope na that pikin where they read ABCD and still get ogbonge dream for hearts.
Hope na the mama where they fry akara, we see the reason say
tomorrow go soft for her.
Naija,
your freedom na promise.
Say hope go always come, no matter wetin happen.
Think fast, please.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We'll start continuing with the front page review with the Punch. Major headline being 2027 succession firestorm in 10 states as governors exit nears. Incumbents, party fighting, religion, Zoning wars drive high-stake political contest. INEC deadline nears for party primaries. Then we have Delta teenager visiting friends shot dead in Lagos. Really sad story. Nigeria spends 9 trillion naira importing petrol, and Stammer pushes strategic UK-Nigeria alliance with 1.4 trillion naira fresh deal. Then we have HERTFORDSHIRE, Speaker, governors preach peace, unity, and police strengthening surveillance. Then arms shortage undermines anti-terror war in Nigeria, Africa, says Stockholm report. So, what story do we start with? Is it the Stockholm report or the sad story of the teenager that was shot in Lagos?
The sad story of the teenager that was shot in Lagos.
Really sad.
Yeah, so a teenager identified simply as Chike, who reportedly traveled from Delta State to visit, he resides in Asaba, Delta State, to visit a friend in Lagos, has been shot dead by suspected cultists in the Cotton area of the state. The victim was said to have gone to withdraw money from a point of sale operator with his friend's brother. And after he withdrew the money, he was accosted by a group of boys. And an eyewitness said that the people spoke to him for a minute. He offered to give them the money he had withdrawn and his gold, but then they refused to take it. And next thing, they opened fire at close range on him. He died instantly, was left in the pool of blood. Luckily for his brother's friend, he wasn't affected, you know. And the witness also said that the boys were shouting Abakria before and after shooting him.
Oh, that means there may be something...
There may be something court-related. Yeah, before and after they shot him and left in the pool of blood. It's so sad, like honestly. As in... Just honest, like as in, are we really safe? Like where young people just feel like that it's easy to just take a life. As in, my condolence and our heart goes out to the parents and the family of this young man. Really so sorry about that.
I have the story of arms shortage. So they say Nigeria and other African countries may face heightened security risks due to limited access to modern weapons. As new data shows, the continent accounts for a small fraction of global arms imports. This report is released by Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. It indicates that Africa contributed just 4.5% of global arms imports in 2024 and 2025, compared to Europe's dominant 48.2%, 22 million, and then Algeria, 313 million. So every time, you know, when we talk about insurgency and terrorism and all that's banditry, all that's happening within our country, when we hear things like, oh, but we have intelligence, we know where they are. Why are we not doing anything? Probably this data is showing us why we can't do anything. It's because we do not have enough arms to fight the insurgency. So even if we know where they are, we just send, either we send our soldiers on not properly armed and then further rile them, and then they come in, you know, for counterattacks because we are dead to fight them. So we need to make sure we invest properly in our security. And that is why, that is why, you know, I don't know if you remember the story of Dasuki and how much money they said was mismanaged or stolen away.
Investigation needs to be done to the past expenses that we are not seeing the reflection. Sad. But I was going to take the story of Nigeria spending 9 trillion naira on importing petrol, which is very unexpected, as we felt that with Dangote's production and all the investment made into local refining, we would have less petrol importation. But between January and December 2025, Nigeria spent 8.96 trillion naira on importation of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol. It's a decline from 2024. In 2024, Nigeria spent 15 trillion on importing petrol. However, we felt with Dangote in, we should have a major, a stronger decline. They said there was still importation, according to the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, and that the latest development is saying that between January and December, there is a deepening supply paradox in the country's oil sector, because in 2023, we imported less fuel when that subsidy was forced, when they were saying subsidy was gone. There was less importation. maybe because we're not consuming as such, whatever it is, it worked within that 2023. But 2024, we had 2020, sorry, I'm confusing it. There was reduction in 2024. It was in 2025 that we had increase. So I'm looking at it that the more you look, the less you see. Let the economists study the numbers well and educate us properly, because we're looking at the news now, we really don't understand what interpretation we should make from this data. So, but we'll be reading the papers to get more information. Let's move on to Daily Sun, where the major headline carries Sultan charges military to take war to terrorist den. But like Mariam said, they can't, because if you don't have enough ammunition, you take it there, you might be inciting more violence than you can handle. Then we have federal government UK, okay, 746 million for refurbishment of Lagos ports. Abia APC blast Labour Party over attack on Senator Kalu. Idil-Fitr, Barau, Governor Obi, others call for continuous prayers for Nigeria. Senate leader Bamidele urges overhaul of approach to insecurity. Ohaneze steps up fight to save Igbo language. Sponsors 100 youths in tech. Then PDP ADC hits federal government, Tinubu, as Nigeria grabs fourth spot in global terror debt. Then there are pictures of the conversations that happened, bilateral meetings, sidelines at the UK-Nigeria state visit. What stories can we take?
My people, because I'm part of people preaching that we should not lose our heritage, who we are as a people. Our language is important, our identity.
That's why you went around the world and did not release the Igbo.
Yes, so efforts to preserve and promote Igbo language and culture received a major boost yesterday. As Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide rolled out key initiatives, including the award of professional chairs valued at 2.5 million each, and the launch of a technology-driven scholarship scheme for youths. Speaking at the ceremony, the President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide, Senator John Azutambata, described the initiative as a strategic intervention aimed at securing the future of Igbo identity in the face of globalization and urban migration. He also said that, stressed that the event went beyond ceremony, representing a deliberate effort to revive Igbo language, history, and cultural consciousness. Also, they announced one of the highlights was the sponsor of 100 Igbo youths to study coding, artificial intelligence, and other technologically driven courses in various universities, with plans to increase the number to 200. He also stated and expressed the fact that they are committed to fulfilling the objectives of this chair, that the process will be fair, inclusive, and evenly distributed across states, and that they will not disappoint, and that is not just a small feat that they've established this effort for Igbo schools in the UK, United States, and now Canada. And, my people, Igbo Kwenu, this is a great one.
I have the Sultan of Sokoto has challenged the military to adopt a more aggressive approach against terrorists following recent bomb explosions in Maiduguri. The Sultan made the call while declaring today Eid-ul-Fitr, marking the end of Ramadan, the Islamic holy month of fasting, on Wednesday night. He says Monday, 23 people were killed, with over 100 injured, after bombs went off at 3 different locations, including the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital and the post office flyover in Borno, the capital. Sultan condemned the attack and urged military and intelligence agencies to intensify efforts in tackling terrorism. Take the war to the terrorists where they are. Don't wait for them to strike before defending or finding remedies. This you must do so that as a nation of great people, we can have peace in our country. We condemn this new wave of bomb attacks in the strongest terms and condemnation, and charge that the military and other security and intelligence agency should step up their effort by nipping these terrorism and insurgency problems in the bud. He also says that the attacks are against Islamic teachings, that government should show strong political will to protect lives and decisively tackle criminal elements nationwide. We have always condemned this thing. It is un-Islamic, and we insist it is not recognized by Islam and should not be attributed to Islam. The government should summon the political willpower that is required to provide effective security and safety for all people, regardless of their religious and tribal considerations, and so on and so forth, concerning insurgency and, terrorism. We'll keep pushing this message. Government still Keep doing your job.
We push the message, we pray for peace. We support our soldiers in our prayers as well, because honestly, they are on the line, literally. And our heart goes out to all those who lost their life, and we pray peace on their families. That's what we can take on Front Page Review for today. We'll take a break. When we return, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Every clash of ideas begins the same way. Differences could be a disagreement,
two voices, two views, standing apart,
or an argument.
a battle to win, to prove, or to conquer.
Both are born from differences. One can open the door to respect.
Sound, are you ready?
And the other close it with fire. Two perspectives, but one big issue.
Are you good?
Yes, I'm good to go. So do we argue to fight or disagree to understand?
3, 2, 1, we are live.
This is the big...
You guys, this was just about Irasta and Grandma now.
You day wine. It's all over my FYP, but me I don't know, Sha. Cause fake blogs yakpa. And if you ask me, it's giving sauce.
Listen, I just checked the new tvcentertainment WhatsApp channel like right now, and they just dropped the update.
Are you for?
No cap.
I've actually been noticing those guys. They're always on it 100. Like they always post the gist before anyone else. Me, I love them, oh, and that's on periods.
Like I just aligned with them like last week, and almost they've been dropping back to back.
Facts. I love how it's straight from the source. No cap, no fake news, just pure entertainment.
I low-key feel like an insider right now.
I know, right?
TVC be cooking.
Real talk. It's like Gist Express, premium gist on cruise mode. Always first, always latest.
Clock it.
Clock it.
You know what, guys? I just joined.
Active.
Jess is right. All you're trying to say to you is, for your premium entertainment content, scan the QR code on your screen right now to join the TVC Entertainment WhatsApp channel.
In 3, 2, 1, we are live.
Welcome to E-Splash. I'm on the black carpet, and of course, it's Jubril of Lagos.
Well, that's it on Socialville.
Are you
already have Destiny Helper. I know that.
I go shoot out for you.
You already know, guys. E-Splash can be the best of entertainment, the best of energy, best of everything you need to get your day going.
It's E-Splash every weekday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on TVC Entertainment.
Keeping hope alive.
We are the drumbeats that refuse to be silenced, even when the rhythm falters.
We are the green that refuses to fade.
And the white that dares to shine.
Hope is not a stranger here.
It lives in our markets,
our music, and our streets.
Every dawn in Nigeria is proof that tomorrow is still worth fighting for.
Hope is a child in the classroom, eyes wide, with dreams bigger than walls.
Hope is the farmer planting seeds in faith, believing in rain and harvest.
Hope is the youth unafraid to rise, rewriting the story of our tomorrow.
Hope is us, millions of voices refusing to give up on the promise of this land.
Nigeria, our independence is not just history.
It is a call to keep believing,
To keep building, to keep hoping. Now hope.
They carry us.
Even when wahala they choke, we stand gidigba. Hope they waka with us for downfall.
They gist with us for buka.
No matter the gbege, our spirit no fit scatter. Hope Now that pikin where they read ABCD and still get ogbonge dream for hearts.
Hope na the mama where they fry akara, we see the reason say tomorrow go soft for her.
Naija,
your freedom na promise.
Say hope go always come, no matter wetin.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Joining us this morning, Steffi Brett Lee. She's a Chief Marketing Officer, and we have Bolanle Durodola, the Director for West Africa at the University of Hertfordshire, here in Lagos to discuss the opportunities for Nigerian students, their upcoming open day, and what it takes to study and succeed in the UK. Welcome to the show, ladies. Good to have you. This is your first time here. Welcome to Nigeria. Awesome. We'd like to invite you to join the conversation, viewers, by calling us on the numbers on your screen, 020-1635-2013. You can tweet to us, hashtag your view on TVC, so we can read your tweets. And we're also streaming live on YouTube. Drop your comments if you have any question concerning the conversation we are about to have. So, for viewers that don't know anything, because we have interacted, I think we had you last year.
Yes.
They don't know anything about the university. We'd like you to tell us a little about the university. Just brief overview of what the university is about.
Yeah.
You want her to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So the University of Hertfordshire, we're based in Hatfield, which is 25 minutes from the dynamic city of London, but also a really safe, cozy campus vibe that we have there. We are a careers-focused, dynamic, enterprising university. We've got over 34,000 students from 110 different countries, so a really diverse melting pot of different cultures. We're extremely focused on careers, on employability, and that's the real central focus for what we do.
Okay. So, why Nigeria? As in, why, but why not Nigeria? But why is Nigeria important, you know, to the University of Hertfordshire?
Yeah, I mean, we are the leading university for Nigerian students.
Oh, wow.
I think that there is a real connection between Nigerian students' drive for academic success, for professional, you know, futures that we share with them. And so we have a fantastic alumni. Our graduates from Nigeria have gone on to do incredible things. They are senior executives, entrepreneurs, and so we have a real bond with our Nigerian students. I don't know if
yes, and we have about the highest Nigerian student in the UK. University of Hertfordshire has topped the list of Nigerian students, and it's an amazing community where Nigerians feel safe when they come to us. And that's why the university would every year bring delegates from the UK to come to us. You can imagine the university bringing 10 people from the UK to come to Nigeria and this economy to speak to international students. So they feel us even when they're not in the UK.
Okay. And so you're hosting an open day in Lagos, March 21st. So tomorrow. And so what can students expect from this event?
Okay, so students should actually expect to see university lecturers. Now, the lecturers are going to be taking them in class. So they're going to be there tomorrow. They're going to do the on-spot offers. We're going to give scholarship. We're going to tell them about the credibility interviews. We're going to speak to students on how best to deal with us when they're coming to the university. We're going to speak to parents, you know, how parents want to see people at the university themselves. So when parents coming, they tend to see the university, speak to, you know, the lecturers that are going to be taking them, speak to admissions tutor, because we have the head of admissions in Nigeria with us at the moment.
Wow.
And so
it's a full house.
It's a full house. And then we're going to be giving an on-spot offer when they're coming tomorrow.
Amazing, amazing. So who should attend this open day? Who should be, is it graduates? Are you just giving undergraduate, postgraduate, like people that want to do PhD? Like who should actually attend? Parents, the children, who should attend this?
So number one, everybody that is interested in studying in the UK.
Yes.
So from undergraduate, you've just finished your secondary school, you can come with your parents. We have Hertfordshire International College on ground also that will be taking students through this. So bachelor's degree holders, master's degree holders for PhD. We have just even people who have never even thought about the UK and want to learn about the UK. We want them to come and test it and make a decision right there when they come to
and meet us and ask us questions so that they can get to know more about us.
Okay, so one thing Nigerian parents, for our children, were big on is, because you're reading, what will you do with it after? Are there opportunities for employment? So we're quite big on that. So
absolutely, that's really central to everything that we do at the University of Hertfordshire. We have a team dedicated to employment and career skills, and we've got a number of different things to support people in those future careers, whether that's Hertfordshire internships, virtual internships. We have a national international careers week every week where people can come and test and think about what it is that they want to do in the future, but also embedded into every course is real world skills to help them in the future, so that they really do leave with the ability to go on to prosper in whatever career that they are focused in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I heard you when you were speaking earlier, I heard you talk about scholarship opportunities.
Yes.
So these scholarship opportunities, who are they available to? Are they available to just the undergrad students, as if you want to do a master's program, postgraduate, or a PhD? Like, who actually is this available, scholarship opportunity available to, and what does the scholarship entail? What does it cover?
Okay, so for us at the University of Hertfordshire, the scholarship is available to everybody from undergraduate going through the postgraduate studies. So what we want is, we want to give students that really qualify for the scholarship. And what we do is, looking at the applications in the first place, for them to get into the university, it means they're qualified. They've gone through all of the processes. Once they get an admissions with them, then they get a scholarship. So we're going to be talking about the scholarship, how to apply for it tomorrow, you know, how much they can get. For undergraduate students, I'm going to say this out here, they can get scholarship every year for the 3 years they're going to be studying with us.
Okay.
And for PG, they'll get for that first year that they're going to study with us. But we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So final question would be that, how would those curious about this get the information? How can the students attend the open day? Give us details on the open day.
Yeah, so go for it.
Okay,
well, tomorrow, yes.
The open day is tomorrow at Marriott Hotel. It starts at 10 a.m. through 5 p.m. But registration will start at exactly 9 a.m. so that we can get so many people to register. Already we have over 1,000 people registered for this event tomorrow.
Wow.
Yes. And yes, we have over 1,000 people registered. So we want them to come early, register early, and then we'll start. And we're going to have tomorrow, we're going to have breakout sessions where lecturers will be taking students who want to go to the different schools of study on the courses they're going to do when they're coming. So it's like having a taster lecture when they come, absolutely free of charge. They're coming, they tell them how they're going to be taught when they come to the University of Hertfordshire. And you can reach us on 081 80227788. You can also follow us on Instagram at UH Nigeria, and also on TikTok at UH Nigeria.
At UH Nigeria.
At UH Nigeria.
Is there any other thing you feel people coming should have it at the back of their mind when they're coming towards this event tomorrow?
Okay, so when they're coming, some people really do not understand that, they have to get some documents. So the entry requirement differs depending on what you're coming in for. So if you're coming for undergraduate, we need you to bring your WAEC result. If you have your WAEC result just coming, that's fine. If you're doing the bachelor's, the postgraduate, we need your WAEC, your academic references, your academic transcript, your degree certificate, your reference letter, your biodata page of international passport, and a personal statement. Now, if they don't have this, it's absolutely fine. We will still consider them. Now, if they want to do research, which is the PhD, they would come with their research proposal, would connect them with the supervisors and make life easier. And people want to come to do the master's by research should come with absolutely work experience. We want to see the work experience because you're doing research. Research is not taught, so it's going to be research focused. So we need to let them know that they're not just coming.
Prepared. Don't just come and sightsee.
Yeah. Exactly.
But if you're curious, come and talk to us. Come and think about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if they don't have the document, they should just come. You know, for the ones we can give on-spot offers to, we will give conditional offers, and then we'll ask them to bring the documents to make it academically on condition.
Will you both be there?
Yes, we'll both be there. We can't wait to meet lots of people and talk to them about what their future could be.
Is it free?
Absolutely free of charge.
Yes. Just to be sure.
Yes.
Because some people will be reconsidering it. Thank you so much. It was good to have you.
Thank you so much.
Hope you enjoy your time in Nigeria with us.
Thank you very much.
And good to see you again.
Good to see you.
All right, we'll take a break. When we return, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Every clash of ideas begin the same way. Differences could be a disagreement,
two voices, two views, standing apart,
or an argument.
a battle to win, to prove, or to conquer.
Both are born from differences. One can open the door to respect.
Sound, are you ready?
And the other close it with fire. Two perspectives, but one big issue.
Are you good?
Yes, I'm good to go. So do we argue to fight or disagree to understand?
3, 2, 1, we are live.
This is the big...
You guys, this was just about Irasta and Rema now.
You day wine. It's all over my FYP, but me I don't know sha. Cause fake blogs yakpa. And if you ask me, it's giving sauce.
Listen, I just checked the new TV Entertainment WhatsApp channel like right now, and they just dropped the update.
Are you for
No, no cap.
I've actually been noticing those guys. They're always on it 100. Like they always post the gist before anyone else. Me, I love them oh, and that's on period.
Like I just aligned with them like last week, and almost they've been dropping back to back.
Facts. I love how it's straight from the source. No cap, no fake news, just pure entertainment.
I low-key feel like an insider right now.
I know, right?
TVC be cooking.
Real talk. It's like Gist Express, premium gist on cruise mode. Always first, always legit.
Clock it.
Clock it.
You know what, guys? I just joined.
Active. Jess is right. All you're trying to say to you is for your premium entertainment content, scan the QR code on your screen right now to join the TVC Entertainment WhatsApp channel.
In 3, 2, 1, we are live.
Welcome to E-Splash. I'm on the black carpet, and of course, it's Jibril of Lagos.
Well, that's it on Socialville.
When I say, I dare fool.
You already have Destiny Alpha. I know that.
I go shoot on for you.
You already know, guys. E-Splash give you the best of entertainment, the best of energy, best of everything you need to get your day going.
It's E-Splash every weekday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on TVC Entertainment.
Keeping hope alive.
We are the drumbeats that refuse to be silenced, even when the rhythm falters.
We are the green that refuses to fade.
And the white that dares to shine.
Hope is not a stranger here.
It lives in our markets,
Our music, and our streets.
Every dawn in Nigeria is proof that tomorrow is still worth fighting for.
Hope is a child in the classroom, eyes wide, with dreams bigger than walls.
Hope is the farmer planting seeds in faith, believing in rain and harvest.
Hope is the youth unafraid to rise, rewriting the story of our tomorrow.
Hope is us, millions of voices
refusing to give up on the promise of this land.
Nigeria, our independence is not just history.
It is a call to keep believing,
To keep building, to keep hoping.
Now hope.
they carry us.
Even when wahala they choke, we stand gidigba. Hope they waka with us for downfall.
It a gist with us for buka.
No matter the gbege, our spirit in no fit scatter. Hope. Now that pikin where they read ABCD and still get ogbonge dream for hearts.
Hope now the mama where they fry akara, we see the reason say tomorrow go soft for her.
Naija, your freedom na promise.
Say hope go always come, no matter wetin happen.
Think fast, play smart, win big. We Cash, the game show where every contestant gets the opportunity to win money. No long waits, no dull moments, just quick questions, quick moves, and free cash. Every second counts, every answer pays, and everyone walks away a winner. Are you fast enough for quick cash? Scan the barcode on your screen and you just might get a chance to take your shot at instant fortune. Quick Cash, showing Mondays and Fridays on TVC Entertainment.
Every clash of ideas begin the same way. Differences could be a disagreement
Two voices, two views, standing apart.
or an argument.
A battle to win, to prove, or to conquer.
Both are born from differences. One can open the door to respect,
Sound, are you ready?
and the other close it with fire. Two perspectives, but one big issue.
Are you good?
Yes, I'm good to go. So do we argue to fight or disagree to understand?
3, 2, 1, we are live.
This is the big...
You guys, this was the gist about Ira Star and Rema now.
You did.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Joining us this Friday is Are Laila Bodi, a revolutionary founder, financial expert, and cultural figure who holds the revered title of Are Ono Kakanfo of Egba Land. From pioneering mobile financial services in Nigeria to leading Cash Token Rewards African Limited, his work is transforming how businesses and consumers connect through rewards while pushing financial inclusion and wealth redistribution across Africa. But beyond the boardrooms and innovation, he is a strong voice in cultural preservation and a standout figure in the fashion space, celebrating African identity through style, influence, and platforms that promote heritage. Today, he shares his journey, how his impact, how he's blended business, culture, fashion into one powerful vision. Welcome to the show, Are Egbaleganza. It's so good to have you on the show again. We've had you before in our former studio, but we'd like to invite our callers to call and join the conversation on the number 020-1635-2013 or 090-241-63440. You could also tweet to us or drop your comment on YouTube or streaming live right now. So, the last time you were on the show, you were talking about the cash token thing. We're trying to understand how that works. And then I checked you on social media because I was very curious about your outfit that day and discovered that aside from the finance, you are a fashionista, sir. Fashionisto. And it's interesting to see such like people see finance people as very strict and in a particular way, and they're seeing fashion as something for flamboyant people. But what made you believe it is combinable, and how have you done that so far?
So thank you very much for having me again. It's such a beautiful studio. I could put a bed here and just sleep. It's such a beautiful one.
Thank you.
And so let me start by saying that innovation and culture can coexist. Yes, finance, big deal. We have to make money, we have to impact lives that way. But then fashion is in the blood. I'm an Egba man. The Egbas are Africa's premium blood. So there's something about us when it comes to fashion. And there's no way, no matter where we go, whether we're doctors, we're engineers, this fashion cannot just go away. It's just how it is.
Just swag.
But of course, our work generally is about impact. So on the financial side, we thought it was important to build platforms, can connect the ordinary people of Nigeria to some prosperity. And Cash Work in Africa became that platform where, as long as you can buy from a Nigerian business, you can get rewarded, and that reward can potentially change your life. So you see partners like MTN, that has paid out almost 20 billion, on this platform, giving back to Nigerians that are patronizing them, impacting lives. Airtel, Glow, Unilever, quite a bit of partners that we actually have, over the years, and we're very proud of what we have been able to do to touch lives while doing business. So you can make money while touching lives also, and that brings us to fashion. Egbaliganza, first of all, when I became a high chief in Egbaland, I'm a statutory chief, the area of Egbaland, as you mentioned earlier. The KBC had charged us that, yes, Egba is a cradle of many firsts. The first hospital, first this, first, it's quite a bit of it. The Obasanjos, the Abiolas, the Kutis, the showing cars, it's quite a bit. The show the cares and the likes. Said that we cannot continue to sit on what we have done in the past. What do we do now? And of course, I always say that on Judgment Day, God will ask, what did you do in your own time? So we thought it was important to establish a platform. So we established the Laila Bode Heritage Foundation, and then the Egbaliganza itself. Let us create this platform to help take these things to the next level. So first of all, it's preservation. How do we preserve what we have? But then how do we connect the younger generation to it? Because if you don't connect them, it's going to get lost. So Egbaliganza became that platform to connect the young people to the old, to the past, to the best of the present, and then project to the future. And how do we connect all of this glory to the local economy? And we can package that local economy and showcase it to the world, even commercially, so that we can get truly prosperous. And that's how we founded Egbaliganza. So in 2024, we had the first edition. 2025 last year, it was a whole lot. And you notice that while there was quite a bit of comparison to Jude Oba and the likes, we're all from Ogun State. It's not competition. We're very close to the Ijebus. A lot of our friends are Ijebus, and we all used to be Abeokuta province. It used to be one Abeokuta province those days, And the Ijebus have done a lot. The Regbe, they are the best in the world when it comes to Regbe. Beautiful, colorful attires. A lot of cultures have also learned from what the Ijebus have done. But the Egbas decided to do something very different, right? We decided to do couture, So if you all those attires that you saw on the runway last year, they were very deliberate, beautiful, different types of things, expressing different things within the culture. So you see the kembe, it's no longer just a kembe, it's now kembe okukenu. You see the pleats in it, you see the intricate designs around it. You see it's quite a bit.
I wish we had pictures. It was
so good. It was really beautiful. And you see KBC's cap last year, it's called Abeti Eye. While the Oyos have Abeti Aja, I'm sure you know Abeti Aja, it's like that. The Egbas have what is called Abeti Oja.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we created that. Abeti Oja, you see that, those days, even till now, Ologuns in Egba, you see them wearing caps that are long and there's a bag under it. That's where we used to keep our charms those days. Yes, And, but we're not fighting those kind of wars anymore. We're not fighting those wars anymore. So we're not tying it. So if you see two knots, it's called Ologun Asiko.
Oh, wow.
Ologun Asiko. You see two knots, that means you are a high chief in Egbaland. If you see one knot, that means you are a chief of a township. So each of those things actually have meanings. You see Oja, you'll have seen Olowu, Olowu last year, you know, in his cap with those two. Only a king can wear those two the way he tied it. So there's quite a bit of that. And the young people, and if you see, Egba land is agog right now. A lot of people have also already come from abroad. The Ishabi Festival is here already. Egba Leganza is here already. So there's quite a bit of activity already in Abeokuta. People have attires are being created. You know, there's quite a bit that.
It's part of the reason I tried to do a combo of Adire and Ashoki.
You know, and it's beautiful. You know.
Yes. So all you've talked about is work. Some even the fashion somehow is work related. So we want to get to know you, as in who is Are Labode beyond work. Who are you?
Okay, so I think I'm very restless. You know,
one of those.
You know, and there's quite a bit that comes, and we try to execute. You know, and luckily, I think my business, I'm very lucky to have very good people who work with me. Okay. You know, it gives me a little time to be able to do those things that I'm very passionate about. So while pushing this, we said, why don't we look at the African fashion economy? You know, alongside, and then thought that, you know, while it is work. It's passion.
It doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work, yeah. And then we decided to establish what is called the Confederation of African Fashion, right? That is, how do we take the African fashion economy from a $60 billion economy to $500 billion? And there's quite a bit of opportunity, but then there's a lot of problems also. There's undercapitalized manufacturing, there are IP issues, there are loads and loads of issues. Let's just face it, you know. A lot of the Adire we're making, we're still importing the fabrics, you know, before we put the arrow or the dye on it, you know. So we're still doing quite a bit of that. And of course, there's the Chinese invasion. The Chinese, I mean, our countries are not at war, so they can do business. But then how do we protect the local economy? How do we protect that craft itself? You know, that became part of the matter. So I became the president of the Confederation of African Fashion, and Nigeria became the first country in Africa to sign the charter. Meaning that Nigeria will now have what is called the Nigerian Fashion Federation. That's unprecedented. That's the first. And of course, so the policies for Africa happens at the Confederation of African Fashion level. Then it is domesticated across Africa. So for the first time in the history of Egba land, for the first time in the history of Yoruba land and Nigeria, we're going to have 50 countries actually come to Egba land to pay homage to Kabisi Alake. But they're not just coming to pay homage to Kabisi Alake, they're also honoring our hero, Lishabe Agbongu Akala. But they're coming with fashion. You're going to see them in some beautiful attires. Okay. But then Egba land is to become a mecca of diplomats going forward, where we can connect cultures. Now, those cultures are connected to the economy. If you come to Egba land, you're going to come and spend money. It is tourism. There's quite a bit. And then we created something called the Egba Global Diplomacy. You know, Egba was a nation before Nigeria. You know, when the amalgamation happened and Nigeria became in 1914, we say the Southern Protectorate, and another, there was a third party. That third party was Egba land, because we were already a nation and to join that coalition, so to speak. So there's quite a bit of administration that has gone on in Egba land for a very long time that we have brought back forward. So the Egba Global Diplomacy is leading now to ensure that we can get the very best for Africa. You know, you asked me about fun, but you can see that I've already gone back to work.
Yes.
You know, so let me just say this about work. I'm a writer also. I write what is called Constellation of Thoughts. I've done that for 16, 17 years, documenting my thoughts every day. A book is out shortly, Constellation of Thoughts. It's quite a bit. Now I'm doing Yoruba now and all of that. So there's quite a bit of that. I like to play table tennis. I like to play football. Most importantly, I like to play chess. Yes.
Wow. All right, Mariam, before I let you go into your question, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we get to know more about the Are Ona Kakanfo of Egba land. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your View will be right back.
Pass that back.
In 3, 2, 1, we are live.
Welcome to E-Splash. I'm on the black carpet, and of course, it's Jubril of Lagos.
Well, that's it on Socialville.
When I say, I dare fool.
You already have Destiny Alpha. I know that. They will not rest.
I go shoot out for you.
Hey, I bet.
You know, guys,
E-Splash give you the best of entertainment, the best of energy, best of everything you need to get your day going.
It's E-Splash every weekday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on TVC Entertainment.
Keeping hope alive.
We are the drumbeats that refuse to be silenced.
Even when the rhythm falters.
We are the green that refuses to fade.
And the white that dares to shine.
Hope is not a stranger here.
It lives in our markets,
our music, and our streets.
Every dawn in Nigeria is proof that tomorrow is still worth fighting for.
Hope is a child in the classroom, eyes wide, with dreams bigger than walls.
Hope is the farmer planting seeds in faith, believing in rain and harvest.
Hope is the youth unafraid to rise, rewriting the story of our tomorrow.
Hope is us, millions of voices refusing to give up on the promise of this land.
Nigeria, our independence is not just history.
It is a call to keep believing,
to keep building, to keep hoping.
Now hope.
They carry us.
Even when wahala they choke, we stand gidigba.
Hope they waka with us for downfall.
They gist with us for buka.
No matter the gbege, our spirit in no fit scatter. Hope na that pikin where they read ABCD and still get ogbonge dream for hearts.
Hope na the mama where they fry akara, we see the reason say tomorrow go soft for her.
Naija, your freedom na promise.
Say hope go always come, no matter wetin happen.
Think fast, play smart, win big. We cash. The game show where every contestant gets the opportunity to win money. No long waits, no dull moments. Just quick questions, quick moves, and free cash. Every second counts, every answer pays, and everyone walks away a winner. Are you fast enough for quick cash? Scan the barcode on your screen, and you just might get a chance to take your shot at instant fortune. Quick Cash, showing Mondays and Fridays on TVC Entertainment.
Every clash of ideas begin the same way. Differences could be a disagreement,
Two voices, two views, standing apart.
or an argument.
A battle to win.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. All right, Mariam, your question.
Okay, so I just wanted to find out the Fashion Federation, what exactly is that body doing when it comes to our own fabric? So we're living in a world now where there's lots of, we call them modern fabrics, where there's just lots of plastic embedded in fabrics. And then what is traditionally ours, Nigeria or Africa, is that we have real organic fabrics that are sustainable. We're able to pass from generation to generation, but we're living in a world that it seems like we're putting that aside in favor of these new modern fabrics that are not sustainable, hurting us, our health and our planet. How does the Fashion Federation come in here to give us the respect and just the position that we once had, and let the world see exactly what it is that we own and celebrate it?
Okay, that's a so many questions are in that, and I can see where you're going, you know, because it has many heads, as the case may be. But let me say that here we're individual champions. So there's quite a bit of great things happening in different boxes, but they're not all really connected. you know, the value chain is fragmented to
Yes,
start with.
that's true.
So what are we doing at the level of the Confederation, where the policy matter is? You know, we just kicked off. Nigeria just signed a few months ago, and the Fashion Federation is getting set up. But I can give you some insight into what's coming.
Okay.
You know, when the thinking becomes holistic for Africa, that's the first big deal. It's not just Nigeria thinking or just, no, it's holistic.
The whole of Africa.
And then we're able to say, okay, we need to be manufacturing these fabrics and create the standards for Africa, right?
Yes.
We're not fighting the rest of the world.
Yes.
You know, we're still very much connected, because that's the reality. You can't just say it's just you. No.
Yes.
You know, this is a global village. But then we must produce these fabrics in Africa and set the standards for it, because if we're talking about the global market, because the market is not just local, the market is international.
Yes.
It's one market right now as it is. And that's part of what we're emphasizing. You don't just create something funny and expect that someone's going to pay thousands of dollars for it. No. And then you also have to build the brand. So let me bring it back to the local market. If you look at Adire today, you know, aside from the Chinese Adire that you see and all of that, you know, you see that our people, of course, we still have to import the fabrics itself.
Aye.
You know, because we're not producing those fabrics. So you bring the fabrics from China or wherever else, then you now put the dye on it. That means the value chain, you can see that something has come from somewhere. So we need to be producing. So we're creating new cotton belts. Africa has a number already, but then let us create more that are very deliberate, knowing that if we're moving the economy from 60 billion to 500 billion, what are the specific things we're actually doing?
Constitute that enlarged economy.
Yes, so that connects to the local economy itself. And say, okay, then
let me take a call, then I'll let you expand further.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Bless you.
Oju, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Your Royal Majesty, if I should address it that way. A little bit of my contribution has to be this way, just a little bit, and some brief questions too. I would like to commend you for for showcasing Nigeria traditional attire and everything. I'd like to commend you for showcasing Nigerian attire. And again, I would like to know if there's a way in Nigeria it can be taken international in a way. If you can have your fashion week, or I know that there are several fashion weeks that happen that take place in Nigeria. I don't know if the traditional attires can also be displayed too. And again, too, I would also want to know if you personally design the clothes yourself. So these are my few questions. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that commendation. Let me say that, yes, there's quite a bit of plan to showcase for the world. Under the Confederation of African Fashion, we have a global platform coming, one platform, where you see the very best of Africa, where you can buy, the quality is guaranteed and all of that. That gives everybody some kind of opportunity. But it goes through a process so that what Africa is showcasing to the world is on point.
So
of course,
showcased how?
So you can buy
in fashion as Fashion Week as well.
So we have Fashion Week. So let me let this out of the bag. We have the world's first Fashion Olympics coming.
Fashion Olympics.
The world's first Fashion Olympics. It's called the African Global Fashion Games, right? You know, the first we're going to be at Canex, November 5th to 8th, by the grace of God. We already have a partnership with the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, and a particular partnership also with CBAC. You know, that's FESTAC 77. FESTAC is going to be 50 in 2027. Okay. So there's quite a bit of convergence coming. Africa will already be in Nigeria in 2027. IATF is in 2027, is November also. So you're going to see the games. So you're going to see the best of Africa there. It's competition, actually.
Oh, okay.
But then it's competition that also showcases us the commercial side also. But it's deliberately a global fashion games because Africa also, we are allowing the rest of the world to join that competition. So every 2 years in Africa and every 4 years outside Africa, the African Global Fashion Games, Paris, for example, will happen.
Yeah, so what does that look like?
So it's just
games and fashion.
Imagine the Olympics. So we're talking about quality of fabric made in your country,
Okay,
you know, design. So it's a big panel, you know, of judges.
Okay.
So of course there'll be knockouts so that it's the final.
So are we going? So what I mean is, are we going to see tailors, fashion designers?
Oh yes, of course.
Textile producers.
Yes,
is that what
textile
we're talking?
producers.
Okay.
When you see Team Nigeria, it's a complete value chain.
Okay.
Who produced this? Who did that? You know, so that'll be in the hands of the Nigerian Fashion Federation to deal with Team Nigeria. The Zambian Fashion Federation will deal with Team. You know, South Africa. Each country will deal with theirs.
And then you compare.
And then
compete.
yes, it's a competition. The world will come to watch what's going on. We already have partners coming ahead of time already. You know, but then it's also to bring investors into Africa because they want the factories built here. So when we're talking about the fashion games, where fabrics are made in Africa.
Yes.
You know, so if you want to participate, you're Chinese, you're Taiwanese, you're Americans, we are building the factory in Africa here.
Yes.
You know, so you can also make money from here. I mean, the future of fashion is in Africa, of course. So there's quite a bit of that. And I hope I answered your question, the gentleman. Yes.
All right. I know he was asking about the what you're wearing. This design.
Okay, so let me say this, right? And this is a bit. Yes, I now have what is called Laila Body Couture. You know, because I create my designs. You know, I ordinarily have tailors make it for me before, but now, you know, I have tailors who make it for me. But I'm not really doing the commercial thing like a regular designer. I'm very focused on the creation of telling the story. So right now, of course, I'm a big client already for myself. But then, like the festival now, we're making a lot of attires for the festival. We're focused on that rather than just the regular stuff. So when my friends come, I'm very selective on who we make for now because there's a focus on it. It's not just a commercial enterprise to just sell attires. Yes.
There's one question that has been on my mind.
Yeah.
Are Onokakankfo. Not be Yoruba, but for me, it means like a warrior.
It is a warrior, actually.
So how are you a warrior and a fashionista?
and a financial entrepreneur.
You know, that is how, okay, so let me say this, right? Also the Kunrumi of Ijayi. If you read the story, if you read history, you see the story of Kunrumi. You know, that's a field marshal, that's what it means, a warrior. And I'm from Ijayi. It's only the Ijayis that can become the Are of Egbaland. You know, only that's with the structure as it is. Yes, we're not fighting those kind of wars anymore. You know, we're now fighting economic wars. We're doing other things right now and the likes. But of course, I carry that spirit. I mean, I sit on that stool of Kunrumi today. I'm the king of my people in Ijayi. And by virtue of that, I'm in the cabinet of Alaki, you know, as the Are. Only people from our place can become the Are of Egbaland. And of course, you know, we're part two kings. You know, if you say statutory chief of Egbaland, they're actually all kings in Egbaland. So that's a big one. When I live here now, you know, I'm off to Abeokuta. It's Salah Day. That means from the mosque, my people are going to come to the Balogun's house. That means they need to come to my house. I need to host them. So as for the attires, yes, we're making them, but we're encouraging others. If you go to Abeokuta now, a lot of tailors that we're training, you know, we're teaching them, we're giving them designs to make, we're telling them about quality, about, you know, because you're not going to go to the rest of the world with things that are not properly made. So we're doing quite a bit of that. Yes.
And that leads me to the question I wanted to ask you, like, what does being the custodian of culture about land, what does it require from you? And also, what values guide your daily life?
Okay, so let me say this. Part of the challenges that we're faced, you know, and I think, and we face it with our full chest, you know, because, you know, we're very conscious of how history remembers us, you're right. People wonder whether innovation and culture can coexist. Yes, it can, and we're proving that. You know, I'm wearing this, you know, I mean, I'm a global citizen. You know, I like to wear designers and all that, but then a lot of people, I go around the world, this is how I'm dressed. You know, people ask me, like, is there a party every day? I say, yes, every day is a party. You know, every day is runway. I'm like this every day, anyway, you know. It is that this thing, so for me, I'm part of the preservation, to start with. You know, we're doing quite a bit of that. We have the African Museum also coming in Abeokuta, Fashion Museum actually, coming in Abeokuta, and one in Abuja. We just got the land for it in Abuja also, where you can see this thing. So there's preservation. But we're also very concerned and excited about innovation. Like I said earlier, on Judgment Day, God will ask, what did you do in your own time? The Kembe was created many, many centuries ago. Some people created it. So what did we do in our own time? You know, God is going to ask us, right? So we're creating those new things, but we're also documenting that they must have meanings. It's not just to do a design. What does it mean?
Yeah.
You know, that's part of what we're doing, and we think that they can coexist. So every day, you know, I get a lot of invitations from around the country, now around the world. The Canadians they've called for a number of things. Some people in Glasgow. There's quite a bit of that going on. Why are they asking? It's about understanding that the youth are now connecting to those cultures that we think are getting lost.
Yes.
You know, and that's part of our job. And we think that God has been very kind in letting people understand that.
All right. So we've been talking extensively about culture, fashion, and I feel that during the break I spoke about the fact that we have a lot of our fashion entrepreneurs are doing amazing, being so creative, and how some other countries are now seeing that Nigerians are buying Nigeria and we're not buying fake designer. They are now faking our own local designers, and it's affecting their creativity, not getting well paid for what they have invested into it. I'm looking at your model, the structure you're putting in place. I'm wondering, how is it going to truly protect from the fact that we have one market? Everybody can shop from their phone and they would get it delivered to them.
Absolutely.
Is there any hope for protecting the Nigerian entrepreneur and fashion entrepreneur?
Absolutely. You know, IP issues are big issues. You know, people take a lot of our stuff without adequate recompense. You know, I mean, there's a lot of theft that's going on. It's only structure that can deal with that. Let's just face it, right? Because you can't stop anybody from around the world from doing something.
Yes.
Is that if you have your structure properly in place, you can say, you can't do that. And they can also see that you are also positioned to be able to do it. You know? So when we're talking about the global African platform where you can shop, for example, and the African fashion weeks that we're talking about, I'm not talking about segments. I'm talking about one that covers the entire Africa, moving around the world, right? Especially at the Global Fashion Games, at the African Global Fashion Games. You're going to see that this structure around it, you can't really steal from it.
Yeah.
You know, so it is deliberately centralized, you know. So if you see somebody from Soweto that has created a beautiful design, we have already dealt with how that IP is protected before it comes onto that platform. You know, so if you come in there to shop in Africa, you know that everything that is on that platform is very well protected. It is priced in the proper way. Nobody is going to buy a thing that is worth $2,000 for $100. It's not going to happen. You know, Nigerians are really creative, but that creativity itself, we must, you know, brush it, put a structure around it, and sell it to the world. A lot of, we had a presentation the other day, and one of the guys, one of my younger friends who's doing very well in fashion, said to me that, he said, Uncle, this structure that you talk about, don't you think that we should just keep going, then, you know, it will happen along the line? I said, that's what we're already doing. You know, it is time to put our money follows the structure. So we're working on the African Fashion Fund, where the fund is very deliberate about moving things to the next level. So it's not fund just to share to different people. It is deliberate that if we must move this economy from here to here and bring in investors into Africa, money is not going to follow what is not structured. It has to follow it.
Okay. Let me take this caller. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Tope. How are you this morning?
I'm doing amazing. Good to have you.
Yes. Yeah. The young man on the studio is really very, very impressive.
He's a young man.
Very young man, obviously. Dr. Tony is an older man, I guess. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, I'm so impressed with all what he's saying, and I wish I can attend the
Leisure Festival.
Yes, can you hear me, Tope?
Yes, we can. The event.
Yes, I said,
yes.
No, I said I would like to know the date for the program.
Oh, okay.
For the showcasing of the
28th of
event.
28th of March.
And the location.
Lishabi Festival happens in Abeokuta on the grand finale.
Where in Abeokuta? Where in Abeokuta, please?
At the palace, at the Ake Palace.
At the Ake Palace.
Yes, on the 28th.
Yes. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
He's calling from Ogun State, so it's personal.
I appreciate his dressing. I appreciate his fantasy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, I know we're still talking fashion, right? So many people say that given how much we've done in fashion, we still don't get the respect that European designers get in the market, where there's esteemed designers. And we are doing really good work, but we are not placed on the same platform. We're not seen the same. We're not making the same money.
Yes.
What can
there's
confederation
a saying,
help us?
and that Irini sin is on the lojo.
Now you see me, now you go appreciate me.
That's it. You see, part of our work at the African platform, right, is that let me tell you, let me take you to the fashion games, for example. You know what it is for you to see those big designers that you talk about showcasing on the same platform with our designers. We're not going to put designers that are joking there. So when you're talking about Ugomonye's influence is huge. You have Didi, who has now become a cultural one. There's quite a bit of influence that has also come. We have a number of these guys. My Atafo, there's quite a bit of guys around that. You can actually take to the global stage, right? But there are a number of things that we also need to do. It is how we present them to the world. So imagine at the global fashion games, because part of it's quite expensive, but it is worth spending the money. It's about the quality of what needs to happen. Some of our guys have questioned, why are we spending so much money on consultants? I said, that's the only way. If you want to compete, imagine a brand spend $2, $3, $4 million on a show. Then you want to go and spend 500,000. There's something going on.
Yes.
It's the same market, right? So I'm wearing a T-shirt that somebody has made and it's 200,000. Somebody else is wearing the same T-shirt and it has X name on it and it's $2,000. Why? The investment has been made
into making that
happen. So what we're doing is to make that. A lot of people cannot afford to make that investment. So we understand that. So we're being practical about it. But the kind of investments we're making at the level of the Confederation will help a lot of our designers go to that level. Imagine when London, the London Fashion Week with Ugomonye the other time, right? And when we entered, I was telling Ugo, I said, wait a minute, shouldn't this UK know that we're here?
Exactly.
For real. They should know that we're here. They don't even know we're here. Yes, beautiful attires, we're on the runway, it looks nice and all of that. There should be something else that needs to be done. And that's part of our work at the Confederation level. And that's why each country in Africa will now have their own fashion federation, feeding off the same policy for Africa, going towards the same goal. Respect for our designers is high time because there's too much creativity here. But we must put a structure around it for the world to recognize it.
All right, let me take another call. Welcome to the show. Good morning. And our men are calling.
Yes.
Are you still there? Welcome to the show. Mr. Robinson, we lost your call. Apologies. Honestly, but a part of me just wants to still go back to your family. Like, I feel like, okay, what's family life like? Kids, how are your kids, looking at their dad on the runway? It's such a different thing.
How do they see fashion?
Yes.
Okay, so
don't you put them under pressure? They will like, they can't afford to forehand.
So I'm happily married to Irilu Ijoma Laila Bode. My wife is an Igbo woman. And I have 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl, Salt, Einstein, and Rhodium. My first son schools in the U.S. is in the U.S. of South Carolina. One of my boys is back in Nigeria. He's in Adesoye College here, and my daughter is still at home with us. She's about 10 years old. So family life is such a big deal, let me say that the kind of I'm too restless, So you can imagine the kind of support I need from my wife, and all of that, making sure that things are fine. But I don't even know how I do it because family time is also such a big deal. So what I do is I can take my daughter for a whole day. Take my son for a whole day. I do quite a bit of that to keep family together. We travel together also. Family is everything. My mother is no more here. My dad is here. My dad is the Areba Royin of Egbaland. My dad is almost an albino, so when you see him, you see one very yellow man. Like my dad. A fashionista himself.
I see where you got it from.
Yes, of course. And I'm also half caste, because I'm partly Lagosian, and of course I'm an Egbama. My mom is from the Okunu family, the famous Okunu family in Lagos. And there's quite a bit of that connection when it comes to fashion. But family, the Okunus are very beautiful people, the Labodis are very beautiful people, and we have been able to build such family that we think that we're very conscious of how we're remembered in history.
So in your own nuclear small family, how does fashion
Oh, big deal. Okay. Big deal. So my kids.
Before you answer, let me just take this call. Welcome to the show. Mayowa, are you there? Hello, Mayowa, you are live.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. You're live.
Good morning, my sister. How are you?
Well, good, thank you.
I love watching your program every morning.
Thank you.
But I want to meet some of you seriously. I can see that two of you are not there again.
Yeah.
But you people are keeping it working.
Yeah,
God bless
thank you so much, Mr. Mayowa.
Yes, I want to talk to my Ariana Kakampo.
He's listening.
Are
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Very well, sir.
I can see the way you are vibrating. Nobody will know you are educated like this. You really impress us. You represent Yoruba very well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, God will deal with you.
Amen, sir. Thank you so much.
I just want to advise.
Yes, sir.
As you are carrying your people along in the area of economic war against economy development, I don't want you to lose focus on the title you are appearing to.
Yes.
As Are Ona Kakanfo.
Yes.
If you can gather your people together before the king like this to strategize too on security, especially in Yoruba land. As you are going with the economy, please go with security. Because insecurity can destabilize every good plan.
Absolutely.
So, as articulated as you are, we believe that God has given you the knowledge of strategy. Especially anybody that can do fashion must be an intellectual somebody. So I want you to combine the two now. As you are helping us to grow people, to develop people, focus on that security too.
Yes.
So that all these bad boys will not come and scatter all your good work. You get it now. So when you are with the king, with the chiefs, give them strategy to capture the young ones out of this bad habit, so that they will not go and join bad people to make our area ungovernable. God will be with you.
Thank you so much.
We'll continue to pray for you. The program you people have, the Lord will sustain it. The Lord will make it happen very well in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you.
Oh wow.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
That was a different direction, but very wholesome is the word.
So we know
Actually,
that.
No, I don't know if you would like to respond to that, even though I'd asked the question you are going to.
Oh, yes. Let me thank the caller very much because security is such a big deal.
Yes.
But economic wars are also part of security wars, actually. But I get what he's saying because there's quite a bit of that. I know that the federal government of Nigeria is doing quite a bit because a lot of times these things are lost because if you don't see the results like that, you don't know how much work is actually going on. So there's quite a lot that the Tinubu administration is doing around it. And if you see the moves around the state police, it's also in their direction. You see that, the locals know how best to manage and secure their areas. That's why the president has also moved in that direction. Kabisi Alake in Abeokuta also, there's quite a bit, as the Kunume of Ijayi, the Balogun of Ijayi, I was on a tour 2 weeks ago of my community, and the Hausa people had come, the Ijayi, for example, they have 3 sections in Ijayi, the Adebakin section. They host most of the Hausas, and they're a whole lot, and we live with them peacefully. Okay. So there was a big problem suddenly, and and I was really amazed at how much of them had actually come out, and I can tell you that the way we dealt with it locally, working with my chiefs and the Olu, it's a model that said we should document and share with the rest of Egbaland because every Balogun is actually dealing with something around that place, but it is how we live together. Even if we are just Yorubas, we also have issues amongst ourselves. It's to ensure that we all become security conscious. Yes. So the Hausa people that are amongst us, the Igbo people that are amongst us, is how we actually live. So I've already set a structure that we're doing a paper by the end of Bishabi Festival. We're going to also release that to the rest of the community and the committee of the Baloguns. Security is such a big deal. Be sure that Kabisi Alake, there's quite a bit that's actually going on. In fact, there's a new committee that I can't really talk about now, that is on how we prepare for the state police that is going to come. So we're already thinking ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So let's go on a break. When we come back like this, we take your question.
After he answers mine.
Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Imagine a country with over 300 plenty languages. Why you go the only focus on Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo? Where we get a common language, where they unite everybody from Oga to even Madam self, and every person where they for street. That's now why we they introduce you 89.9 Yanga FM, the #1 urban pidgin radio station where they unite us all. From the award-winning breakfast show, Waiting Day, with your brother, your friend, Wale Po.
Everywhere. So, Bobo.
Gen Z, you a joke for this time.
This is not Cruise Express.
And this go be the best 4 hours of our life. Country people, make una join us.
Oh.
Now we be What's Up Naija crew. Now we they give you what they sup for inside we country. Yes, so keep it locked.
You've got me your papa. Why you not gonna make younger?
Found wahala. Now here we they settle all the matter.
Okay, now whispers be that. Make I just be the last sensible voice where you go hear.
Now we be 89.9 Yanga FM.
In 3, 2, 1, we are live.
Welcome to E-Splash. I'm on the black carpet, and of course, it's Jubril of Lagos.
Well, that's it on Socialville.
Did I say I dare fool?
You already have Destiny Helper. I know that.
I go shoot out for you.
You already know, guys. E-Splash can be the best of entertainment, the best of energy, best of everything you need to get your day going. It's E-Splash every weekday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on TVC Entertainment.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So Mariam asked about family fashion, and I know Amaka wants to jump in with us our own question. So let me let Amaka ask the question and then you'd answer both together.
All right. So, we've heard all the amazing work you're doing in fashion, in finance and stuff. And we realize that we know that life is not a straight graph. Absolutely. And we know everybody has their ups and downs and challenges. So can you share with us what life experience has really shaped you so far?
Okay, one of the things that I've faced is, when you make real effort to be different and to be innovative, it means that you're ahead of a lot of things, and it's understandable that people may misunderstand you sometimes. I've heard people say, "Oh, Lai is too ambitious," he wants to build the tallest monument in the world in Abeokuta. So why not? So I faced these kind of things. But I've been lucky also in Abeokuta, because Egbaliganda, for example, some people have misunderstood its popularity. Say, oh, Egbaliganda is becoming more popular than Lishabi Festival. No, Lishabi Festival is owned by the Egba people. It's always going to be owned by the Egba people. Egbaliganda is a platform. It's not Laila, but it's Egba. It's a creative engine. It's an innovative engine to help it also grow, as the case may be. So I faced quite a bit of that. Bokabe is Alake, I think the biggest supporter, let me just put it that way, who stands very strong. Yes, aside from Are being Laila Bodi being Are of Egbaland, I'm also the youngest in history. I'm the youngest statutory chief today, and that's part of my job is actually to innovate also in a way that helps Egbaland and the rest of Africa, as the case may be. So I face quite a bit of that. There's nothing great that doesn't come with challenges. A lot of times I've seen people say, "Oh, Lai is making a lot of money." It's a lot of investment, I can tell you. In fact, I wish it was just money, but then it also takes your time.
Yeah.
So I've seen quite a bit of that. Recently, you saw the press conference done by the Egbas, you know, when quite a bit flying in the social media. The Egbas are fighting with Laila Body, you know, just quite a bit of that. But, you know, the Egbas also have a mechanism for solving problems. And you saw the Ashikwa of Egbaland, Captain Raji, a former two-time governor, and I sat down together to address the press on how we fix all that problem. So I've seen quite a bit of that, and it's just what it is for great things. And I'm quite happy that God has continued to give us the grace to surmount those challenges. Yes.
So family, fashion.
Oh, big deal. So I have two boys, right? My first son, Sultan, he likes fashion, but he's not as crazy as my second son, Einstein. You know, Einstein, Olashubomi, he's very slim. We are not going to see him in any slim pants. His pants are massive. He loves to be on the runway, you know. And so I think my second son has taken, you know, the most of it, you know. My daughter is able to see an attire and say, yeah, this is nice, or tell you a few things about it, you know. So, but for fashion, oh my God, my second son is just crazy.
So you say that with so much pride. Let me take this call and I'll come back to you, Mariam. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And I want to say that this is a very interesting program, and we've enjoyed following you.
Thank you.
I just also want to add that what the RA is talking about is actually very... Hello?
Well, you're live. We can hear you.
Okay, I just want to say what the RA is talking about is something that is commendable. There are a lot of opportunities for Nigeria, for our culture, and it has just been left flying around on its own. And the West is actually copying it. We can see some stars combining African-themed design in their clothing and the rest of it, and we've not been able to take advantage of it. We have a lot of talents. We have the population. We have the drive, the skills to push it into the world stage.
Absolutely.
The world is actually, as we are now, the world has exhausted all other known cultures, except the Nigerian culture, which is leading. So what the RA is talking about is what I think the world is waiting for. And we will be very happy to see it out there so that all of our young men, young women, who are fashion conscious, the average Nigerian is a fashionista. We'll be able to make money out of it, make our life better, and be able to drive the economy. The fashion industry is a multi-billion-dollar market that is open for us to explore. So I think it's a good thing, and it deserves of our support. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Quadri from Abuja. Thanks for your contribution, Mariam.
Yes, I was going to say that for your children coming up, you come from a family that has built legacy and you're living through. What would you like to leave for your children? What would you like your children to take from you as they grow and, you know, become adults themselves beyond or in addition to fashion?
Okay, first of all, be not afraid, you know, of doing things that are different, you know, and don't ever stop, don't ever be satisfied with what it is at the moment. Always see, there's nothing else to do really if you really think about it. Just do bigger things. Just keep pushing.
Okay.
You know, God has anything God puts in your mind. You know, He has a way of allowing the universe to conspire and make it happen. I've seen that happen a number of times, you know. And I know that there are people who are sitting down watching this show and all of that, who are connecting. Every time I come on television, you know, something new happens. You know, somebody says, oh, I've been thinking about that, you know. So I want my children to be able to know that. Be not afraid, you know, and not just my children, you know, Egba sons and daughters, Yorubas, Africans, there's a lot that we can do. And this is the time. Africa is do you know the size of the African cultural industry? $500 billion. Wow. What is our share, really? You know, Africa should have a large chunk of the share.
They'll bring you back to the economy. They'll bring you back to the fact that as long as there are negative news, insecurity, infrastructure, if the airport is not good, if the roads are bad, how can we really benefit from the capacity of the cultural industry when basic infrastructure isn't? We still have power crisis. There's load shedding, whatever.
So there's a journey. You know, government is a continuum. Look at what has happened in the past and look at what's happening now.
Yeah.
You know what it is for the government to say, everybody can, you can do yours. You know, the impact of that we're going to begin to see very soon, right?
We can't wait.
But we can take advantage of the way the government is currently structured, right? And the things that we're trying to do across Africa. So instead of saying that all the roads are not going to be good in one day, right? But then you can be sure that the roads that we have today are not the ones that we had yesterday. So there's something going on.
Yeah.
You know, what we had day before yesterday is not what we have today. So there's quite a bit of that we're also saying that, you know what? Africans that need to, talking about the factories, for example, when you have a factory that is now being funded, it is solar that is powering it. Electricity is becoming cheaper. You have to prepare for that time. If you don't plan now, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a journey. It's not a one-day journey, but we're traveling that path, and we're quite happy that you know, the government of the day understands the private sector, and it's for the private sector to, because the government is not going to do everything for you. It's to give you the enabling environment, and we're getting that currently from the government.
You know, every day, we all keep, we are existing, we're here today because we are working towards a common goal, which is success.
Yes.
Yes, so for you, we would like to know, what does success mean to you personally?
Okay, so success will mean how many more people have we inspired across Africa. That's what success is. So I'll tell you this. Anytime I go back to Abeokuta, or I get to a party now in Lagos, I see somebody wearing Ologun Asiko. I see somebody making, I have something called Are, which is an attire that I created for myself. Yesterday, somebody sent me some pictures. A lot of young guys, they had copied it and made it. Wow. Yeah, they didn't ask me, but hey, I created a Gbaliganza anyway, so it's fine. So if I wear this now, be sure that by next tomorrow, somebody has copied this. It's happening already. You know, and I'm seeing it. You know, it's exciting to see that the tailors are making effort to do things that are better. That kind of influence.
Inspiring that.
You know, so it really influence, positive influence. Let me say that. And that's why, you know, working with government, creating the Confederation of African, that's an institution, for God's sake. Someone say, like, how can you create an institution? I say, yes, not just I, with the team, because I mean, you can't work alone. God never puts everything in one person. He puts what you need in other people. So you need to pull people together. Awesome. And we're quite happy that we're making some progress.
We sure do have a lot of people interested in this conversation. So we have another caller on the show. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sheung, good to have you join the conversation. Go ahead, you're live.
All right, thank you. First, I'd like to say very good work that Professor Lai is doing. And I see that this would go a very long way. For example, I wonder why I was watching the state banquet that the King of England hosted. And I see some Nigerian dignitaries wearing suits there. That could have been a very good opportunity for us to tell our culture by wearing our own native attire. I've never seen the Prime Minister of Britain or the Prime Minister of Italy wearing agbada. So those kind of things, we need to stop it. I'm happy that the President and the First Lady were in agbada and Iran Buba.
That was good.
And then we also need to start this thing by making sure that our young children get to wear these things. You understand? That is the way to start. We need to start from there. We need to make our young children to be comfortable wearing agbada, comfortable wearing. We spend a lot of money trying to buy them designers to wear to church and their birthdays. So these are some of the things that I think that the Prof can also try to incorporate.
You just made a very valid contribution. Thank you, Sheung.
All right.
And that's the thing. When we all get involved, more ideas, you know, the caller, Mr. Mayowa with security, Mr. Sheung with involving our children. And I just remembered, I was trying to get my boys to wear dashiki and ikembe trouser, and they would not have it. They felt they looked funny, so they didn't wear the dashiki and they didn't wear the kembe. But they liked the palazzo, the one that gets to the floor. You know, kembe doesn't get to the floor. It's kembe, actually, for those that don't know, let me not assume everybody knows what kembe is. Kembe is a wide-legged pants, the one that we now use a lot in Nigeria, in Africa, in the world, global fashion. Palazzo, very wide-legged, but it doesn't get to the floor. It's like it's three-quarter, half length. So they didn't like the half length, but when we let it get to the floor, they love how free it is. So they wear a version of this very free trouser getting to the floor in loads of Ankaras. They love it, but when it doesn't get to the floor, it feels like, why is my socks showing? Why is my leg showing? They don't like it. But I think it's a good thing if we introduce it to the kids really early to get comfortable with wearing ashoke and all those.
Can I also add that, you know, I've heard a lot of people say they love the African fashion, right? But then they almost look at it as if it's a costume. So on special days or some costume days, but with the European fashion, it is embedded in their everyday life. So that's something I think we're already doing, but that's something I would like to see more of, that we take our African fashion and fabrics and put it in our everyday outfits, you know, sports, you're going swimming, you're jogging, you're walking. How do we incorporate that?
You know, we have something called the Africa Smart coming.
Africa Smart.
Yes. Which is a non-combative campaign. We're not saying don't wear your suit, but you're going to see some new things that will be in the national lives of every country in Africa. It's part of the program under the Confederation of African Fashion. So instead of wearing suits, you see what is called the Africa Smart. That's its design. So even lawyers, they're going to see something new that they're wearing.
That will be such a huge change. And we're out of time.
You know, so there's quite a bit of that. Let me not let everything out of the bag, but
you are definitely very, very, very.
There's a lot of things. You are very
yes. And I wanted to ask, you spoke extensively about, from the way you speak about your culture, you understand history, and it's something we've complained about, that we're not teaching our children. What would you just, in a very short way, explain the role of how your understanding of your history and your culture impacted on your own personal growth and development?
Oh, you know, first of all, you know, the key difference between Islam, Christianity, and our traditional religion is packaging. If you see the amount of knowledge that is in Ifa, for example, you know, we just need to have a part of the project that we're working on at the Laila Heritage Foundation is a Bible for Ifa, where you can open chapters and say, what did Ifa say here? You know, the way it's packaged, you see people, clean people like yourself, you can open it and you know, see wisdom. There's quite a bit of that. Right? So the history is told every day. When you hear Ifa, if you look at the Odufa that was when Egba was getting started, the Odufa that was said at the time, it's a story. Ofumusa, Otoro Ayeja, Obalaja, Ayela Konle, Agogo Onro Congo, 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 Gbedo Onro Kiriji Kiriji, Agbala Aye Amaro Kiriji Kiriji, Lodifa fún olókun níjọ́ kìíní nígbà tó ń bọ̀ wá ṣayé, nígbà tí ayé onífẹ̀ bàjẹ́, wọ́n ránṣẹ́ pé ọlọ́lá nílẹ̀ Adó, wọ́n ránṣẹ́ pé Erimi lóde Ọ̀wọ̀, wọ́n ránṣẹ́ pé Àràbà nílẹ̀ Ẹ̀fẹ̀, wọ́n ránṣẹ́ pé Àṣẹ̀gbàmọ́ nílẹ̀ Ẹ̀gbá kí wọ́n wá tún ayé onífẹ̀ ṣe. Wọ́n ṣe ó tí apá wọn ò ká. Wọ́n wá ránṣẹ́ pé ọmọ tuntun afàtẹ́sẹ̀ rẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ tòun tewé olúṣùwàlù wọ́n wá fi tún ayé onífẹ̀ ṣe. Ǹjẹ́ ẹ bá mi wá ọmọ tuntun afàtẹ́sẹ̀ rẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ tòun tewé olúṣùwàlù. Now what that means, ọmọ tuntun, that is actually the white man coming. So the Ifa knew that the white man was going to come. We don't need to chase them away. So there's a story in that. If you listen to different Ifas, you find out that the story is being told. So I tell my children, yeah, you're Christians, and that's fine, but then this knowledge, you need to understand the depth of it.
Because it's who you are.
Exactly. You know, there's some lady online there, I think Elebu Ibo's daughter, you know, one beautiful lady that does. You need to listen to these things and all of that. So the encouragement is that, and you know, these youth these days, they're not just necessarily Christians and Muslims. They are very open-minded and all of that. It's just part of what we're preaching. That, you know, let us package these things in ways that, you know, become like your children now talking about Kembe, you know, when they see another line on it like this, on one side, do you understand?
Yes, they love it. The steppings will be a bit different.
So that's what it is.
But it just gives a feel of goosebumps, because it's really, really interesting the way history helps us to feel. Because I heard you were saying Okunu. When you were saying,
I didn't hear the words, but it sounded so poetic and beautiful.
Yeah, poetic.
I just
he was saying he's from
the Okunu family.
Okunu family in Lagos, and then he spoke about where he's from in Egbaland, and how the history attached to it, and how it influenced his own fashion. That Okunu are very fashionable people. So identity is not a problem for him, because he knows where he's from.
History,
and so when we talk about culture, talk about economic growth,
about
it is really about knowing who we are.
Absolutely.
Meeting Mariam, I understood more about Middle Belt. That Middle Belt is not the north, Middle Belt is not Hausa. As in like, they are different people with a different language and a different way of life. They look different from the Hausa. And even Hausa is not one. They are multiple different. So it's important that we project our culture so that the identity, and nobody is trying to be somebody else. I don't need to be. I don't need to be Egba. I love Egba, but I am proudly Ijebu. We have what we're doing. They have what they're doing. She's Asaba here, and she talks about Onitsha. Sorry, she's Onitsha. BC is Asaban. We all celebrate our individual strength and strong sense of point. As a united country, building peace and loving on one another, not fighting one another. That's a beautiful way to wrap up the show today.
If you do say so.
Once again, okay, you know, we'd like you to give a message to our Muslim, because today is Idul Fitr.
Yes. Let me say, on a day like this, where we celebrate together with our Muslim brothers and sisters, is a day to also reflect on the many good things that God has done for us. For you to be listening today means that you're alive. There's something to thank God for. And it's a day for us to know that love is everything. There's much more power in love than in hate. Yes, they are both emotions. Let us love even more at this time. And by the special grace of God, next year, all of us will be alive. And being alive is to say that why are we really living if we cannot impact each other's lives positively? So happy Eid al-Fitr.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so earlier the president had led a prayer at the Dodon Barracks to mark the start of the fasting period, and he arrived in Lagos last night from London following the historic visit to the United Kingdom. On that note, we want to wish our Muslim brothers and our Muslim sisters a nationwide happy Salah. We've come to the end of the show for today, but the celebration for everyone continues anyway. Yes. We'll see you for another interesting episode tomorrow. Your View Pigeon. Bye.